giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gate shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is imprisoned lightning, and her name Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand blows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air bridge harbor that twin cities bring. Keep ancient lands, you storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest toast to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Has anyone heard that before? Yes. Right on the Statue of Liberty, the new Colossus. This was playing in my head as I read this gospel text today. Hope for the hopeless. A figure who looks upon the crowds and has compassion on them. Gathers them in as his own. These disciples were out, sent 2 by 2 into the villages, preaching and teaching, and they've returned, excited about what they've done, the places they've been, the people whose lives they've shared with in this teaching. They came back with those stories and experiences to share with Jesus. They must have been tired. I can't imagine what Pastor Matt and Chris and Julie are going to feel like. They'll be out for a few days, I think, coming back from the gathering. Jesus invited them to rest. Maybe they had an hour, a couple hours on the boat as they made their way across the sea. But crowds had already started to gather. And then Jesus, the one who told them to rest, has compassion on this crowd and begins to teach them. He doesn't just teach them, he takes the whole afternoon, the day. It starts to get late. Our text cuts out a little piece in the middle. If you look at the verses, they kind of jump a big section. We get the feeding of the 5,000. It went into the night. These tired disciples, like, come on, Jesus, wrap it up. Where is our rest? These sheep without a shepherd whom Jesus has compassion on are welcomed. They hear the word. Jesus claims them. Even as he's stepping onto the shore, he claims them as his own. Following this, they get back on the boat. The disciples are still probably wrestling with their tiredness after feeding all these people. They're confused about what's happened. They get in the boat. There's a storm. They're probably bickering amongst themselves. Jesus shows up walking on water. They don't know who he is. And then he brings peace to them. And then we pick up the story again as they're getting off the shore, and again they're running into more people. People dragging the sick from their homes, carrying to Jesus everything that weighs on them. All of these people looking for wholeness in their lives. Gathered together, serving others, seeking rest and renewal, all in the presence and in the name of Jesus Christ. Sounds a little bit like church. And that's what basically church is. Martin Luther said it was a holy people who believed in Jesus Christ. And then he put his few marks of the church on there. The Word of God shared, confession and forgiveness, sacraments, good order, But church, people claimed, gathered together in Jesus' name. What is church to you? What is church? While I was in seminary, people often like to offer up advice or reflection about the church. Someone told me that the hour on Sunday was his time to connect with God. And he was upset that out in front of his church, little white crosses were being planted in the lawn. This was at the beginning of the invasion of Iraq. Each little cross of an American soldier's life who was lost, an Iraqi civilian whose life was lost. It interrupted his time with God. The outside world and all of its problems got in the way of his Sunday morning. But what is happening in the world? All that attempts to eat away at our nations, the hate that kills our brothers and sisters, the cries of injustice that ring out from our communities. Those matter to the church because they are the lives and the voices of the church. What is church to you? A mission developer from Tanzania shared with me a story about a community that gathered under a grove of mango trees for teaching, for worship. One day they welcomed some missionaries from the Netherlands. They came to visit, worship. And during a meal they were sharing afterwards, the visitors asked on when they were planning on building that church. What are your plans for the building? And they were right there under the shade of these mango trees, worshiping in the very church that God had built. Sometimes we can miss out what church looks like because we're distracted by our own understandings and traditions and viewpoints. We can miss that larger vision of Christ working in the world. In these few passages we have from Mark, Jesus makes sure that each of the thousands of people were gathered in. Those disciples, you have been serving so faithfully. Renew yourselves so you may continue to serve. Come to me, all who are like sheep without a shepherd. Hear the word, break the bread, be filled. And my favorite, those who know my presence without any introduction. Bring your burdens, your ills, your tired bodies, and be healed. What does church like that look like? In many ways, it looks like this body here. A community that is eager to give of ourselves and our time and our resources to share in ministry and service to the world. It's a place where we can bring our tired and broken bodies and be loved and fed. It looks like a community that seeks ways of engaging our oldest and youngest members in the life of this place, willing to treat the Bible seriously by digging in and pulling it apart and interacting with the living Word. And ready for any chance to grab a beer or ice cream or a plate of food and just be in each other's company. Jesus says something to the disciples in the section that's missing from our text today in this feeding of the 5,000. As it's getting late and the disciples come up to him and wrap it up, Jesus. Let these people go so they can figure out their dinner plans. And Jesus turns to the disciples and says, you feed them. You give them something to eat figure it out. We are church together. It's such a powerful phrase, and it's something that our youth in Detroit this week have been hearing over and over again with the diversity and the voices and the experiences, the identities of each of the speakers. We are church together. The mass of people that gathered at the shores were not just some random collection of misfits and outcasts. Jesus is saying to his disciples, "These are your brothers and sisters. These are my sheep as you are my sheep." We are a welcoming community here. And most of you are here not just because of the food, though that I will hold that against you. Or because of our Lutheran identity, even though some of you may fantasize about Lake Wobegon. It is because of the welcoming and forgiving spirit that resides in this place. Not a creation that we have made, but of Jesus' presence in this place. You give them something to eat, Jesus tells them. Do not discourage or turn them away. Welcome, feed, serve, love. Jesus is already ahead of us. By the time he reaches the shore, people know Jesus. Jesus is ahead of us, looking with compassion on a world of sheep without a shepherd. So how can we be a more visible sign of this steadfast love? In what ways do we need to find new ways of feeding and welcoming those in our community who seek a place of rest, who seek wholeness and healing for their tired bodies from a loving God in the face of so much brokenness and hate? We are church together. It's a powerful image. It is a powerful witness to the one who comes to gather us and feed us and sends us out into the world each and every Sunday, each and every day. We are the church together. Amen.
Amen.